Hello, everybody. Welcome to this great episode of the Maroon Sports Show on WCTV, an unusual one, as you are all aware of, because this is not the WCTV studio, but rather my house, my bedroom, and I might be here for maybe a month or two, because as you are all aware, the coronavirus has really put everything on hold, sports on hold, even WCTV on hold, and possibly my YouTube channel, so course, in case you don't know, subscribe to Island Sports Network. Hit the like button on our video. Subscribe, bell icon, and all that great stuff. I plan on uploading this video to YouTube to fill in that empty void that will be coming soon and happening right now, as we have hit about a week without any sports. At least it's been going by pretty fast, I guess. So, of course, with that said, let's get to all the NFL action going on. That's right, the NFL is still going on with its free agency moves. And why not talk about the Cleveland Browns making big moves, which includes Case Keenum, who has left the absolute mess of an organization the Washington Redskins are. He will sign here for 3 years and $10 million. Fail to the Deadskins indeed. And Austin Hooper, tight end for the Atlanta Falcons, now for the Browns, 4 years, $23 million. And we get Jack Conklin, an offensive tackle, 3 years at $30 million. And just for reference, and in case you don't know, Jack Conklin was the number 9 free agent according to NFL.com, as I'm checking right here on my computer, which is why it looks like, I might not be looking at camera, but Austin Hooper was the 19th, and Case Keenum looks like he was not there. So I guess that's what happened. But anyways, a lot of big free agent moves, including Tom Brady. That's right, Tom Brady, number 12. We're all aware of what happened with him after 20 seasons. Excuse me, by the way, if the camera is shaking. I'm bouncing up and down on, or if it looks like I'm bouncing up and down in my bed, which I'm not. By the way, I am on my bed. But anyways, Tom Brady, after 20 seasons, he is finally done 6 Super Bowls. And, of course, he left free agency. He said that he was no longer going to be a Patriot, but instead be a Tampa Bay Buccaneer. And, of course, all New England may be pretty upset about that. Definitely being very reminiscent of what Joe Montana did after what I believe was the 1992 season, as I will check that. But anyways, yes, all that great stuff as I continue to look. But anyways, I believe it was after the 1992 season in which he left. But you get the point. You get the point, hopefully. Because Joe Montana left San Francisco and went to Kansas City. Tom Brady's left New England, going down to Tampa. Of course, nobody in the front office seems upset because Tom Brady is a man that gave him 6 Super Bowls, and the Patriots probably would not be in New England without him, because they had been struggling for a very long time, threatening to relocate to other places, including Hartford. And so when Robert Kraft bought the team, his goal was to make a Super Bowl team that kind of struggled, even though Bill Belichick was on there. And then Tom Brady joins them, and they make a big trio unlike anything the NFL has ever seen. And without a doubt, one of the greatest dynasties in the history of football, spanning 19 seasons, 6 Super Bowl appearances, and the postseason in, I believe, almost every season. Absolutely crazy to believe that. Of course, Tom Brady, very unstoppable, now goes down to Tampa. And speaking of Tampa, Jameis Winston is still a free agent, hasn't signed with anybody yet. And I'm really doubting that he is going to stay with the Buccaneers with Tom Brady. Yeah, again, Tom Brady is going to be 43 this year. He claimed that he was going to play up to being 45, so you never know. If so, that means he's going to spend 3 seasons with the Buccaneers, of course. We'll see how that works out. But Tom Brady being a Tampa Bay Buccaneer, that is 100% crazy. Would have never guessed it. Absolutely something to really behold if you're a Buccaneer fan, and hopefully they can make the Super Bowl for the first time since Super Bowl 37, in which they trounced Oakland 48-21. Of course, we'll see what happens with that. Excuse me about that, but continuing, Amari Cooper with the Cowboys has re-signed, and same thing with Ryan Tannehill. He re-signed with Tennessee. Hard to believe the season Ryan Tannehill had. Of course, went from really struggling in Miami to, or Free Willy, by the way. But anyways, struggling for Free Willy and then playing for Tennessee, the Titans, and then getting them into the playoffs, replacing an injured Marcus Mariota, and then leading them to a Cinderella run to the AFC Championship game, nearly beating Kansas City too. And speaking of Marcus Mariota is going to the Las Vegas Raiders. That's right, the Raiders are no longer in Oakland, but rather Las Vegas. So, of course, Raiders, as exciting for Oakland, or Las Vegas. See, I'm into it. I mean, I can't understand it. Las Vegas Raiders, that's going to be really hard for me to adjust. But anyways, the Las Vegas Raiders, they're pretty happy about that. But yeah, again, that kind of creates a dilemma with Derek Carr and Marcus Mariota. And between those two, I'd rather have Marcus Mariota because, of course, Mariota has had playoff experience, had that 21-point comeback against Kansas City when he threw a touchdown pass to himself. So continuing, Drew Brees re-signed with the Saints, where he has been since 2006. 2 years and $50 million. And, of course, the Saints have really had their fair share of heartbreak over the last 3 years, as you are all aware. 2017 was the Stephon Diggs catch. And speaking of Stephon Diggs is in Buffalo, I believe, really continuing this crazy dilemma that has been going on so far. I mean, really something, as now it just continues to keep on going. A Buffalo Bill, I believe, for Stephon, from what I heard. But anyways, a lot of great stuff. And then 2018, the controversial pass interference call. Excuse me about that. But yeah, again, the receiver absolutely hit-sticked and no call. And then the next year, the Vikings yet again beat the Saints on the last play of the game, albeit in overtime. And the Saints are just really looking very upset over the last 3 years. And this year may be the year they make some noise. And Phillip Rivers, no longer a Los Angeles Charger, he will be going to Indianapolis to take over for the Colts. So, of course, last year when Andrew Luck left for retirement, you know what that means? They had an empty hole. And while Jacoby Brissett has shown some decency, I guess, it's not enough, apparently, as they are going with Phillip Rivers. 1 year, $25 million. We'll see if Phillip will be starting or if Brissett will be starting. So, of course, great stuff. And continue going, Devin McCourty with New England. Once again, re-signs with New England. 2 years, worth $23 million. And just a lot of big moves so far. People that are open. We have Jadeveon Clowney, who was formerly with the Seattle Seahawks and Houston Texans, but last year with Seattle, nobody has signed him yet. So we'll see if that will stay that way for a while or not. By continuing, of course, I talked about Jameis Winston, but Melvin Gordon, who struggled with finding a contract with the Chargers last year, he is still a free agent, and I really doubt he is going to stay with the Chargers. He has kind of had his struggles throughout his time in Los Angeles. So we'll see if once he leaves, he'll get better and stuff. Everson Griffin, the longtime Viking, is also on the free agency. And we heard that Darius Slay earlier today is no longer a Detroit Lion. He is going to Philadelphia, a good football team over the last 3 years. Of course, their postseason teams. Carson Wentz is good, and of course, that's offense. Darius Slay on the defense is really going to help out. And Emmanuel Sanders, also a free agent as well. We're just seeing a lot of huge moves. And haha is also a free agent. That's right, folks. I'm talking about haha Clinton Dix, who is definitely one of my favorite names because it's haha as your name. And I love it. I love it, folks. But anyways, the biggest trade of the year. And guess what it was, folks? Here's what it was. It was that DeAndre Hopkins is no longer a Houston Texan. He has now been traded. That's right, traded to Arizona for David Johnson, and all of Houston, excuse me for that voice crack, but all of Houston is very upset at their horrible general manager and coach, Bill O'Brien. And, excuse me while I get quiet for a little bit, but if I hope you can hear this, if you can listen very quietly, you can hear Matt Millen cry over the fact that he is no longer the worst general manager of all time, but rather Bill O'Brien. Bill O'Brien is a really stupid guy who traded away probably the best receiver, one of the best receivers in the NFL. Just to show you how good DeAndre was, he's had at least 800 receiving yards or more in all of his seasons, 1,000 receiving yards or higher in all but 2 seasons. He has put up 54 touchdowns in his career. He has really been something. He has made the Pro Bowl 4 times. He has Deshaun Watson throwing at him. I mean, this is a huge win for Arizona because they got a good receiver. Kyler Murray, Offensive Rookie of the Year. Larry Fitzgerald is still there. And, of course, David Johnson has had his struggles. You know how bad Bill O'Brien is, how bad this trade is. David Johnson has only had one good season, 2016, in which he had 1,239 rushing yards, 16 touchdowns, and 879 receiving yards. By the way, all these stats I'm getting right here from one of my favorite football websites, Pro Football Reference. Otherwise, he has not had a good career. He has not rushed for 1,000 yards or more in any of his seasons except for that 2016 season. Everybody talks about being a good fantasy running back, but he is not the best. 345 yards in 9 games, or 13 games, 9 starts. I mean, this is absolutely crazy. And Bill O'Brien definitely needs to get fired soon, if you are a Texans fan, as he has just made probably the most boneheaded move of all time, as Bill O'Brien will forever be synonymous with bad teams and stuff, I guess. And that's just ridiculous. I mean, he got into fights with DeAndre Hopkins, one of the best. And guess what? Michael Irvin, a good receiver, also talked about how much that DeAndre and Bill O'Brien got into fights. And, of course, Michael Irvin, the legendary Cowboys receiver in the 90s. That is crazy. Bill O'Brien, you might be the worst general manager of all time. Matt Millen is crying right now, as I previously mentioned, because he's not the worst general manager of all time. Ridiculous, I know. But anyways, I guess that's going to be all for this episode, as I am almost at my 15-minute mark for YouTube. Wherever you are, stay safe, stay inside. Be careful, be smart during this time. Don't know when our next episode is going to be. But anyways, hit the like button of this video, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon to be notified. If you're watching on WCTV, I thank you for watching this. And until then, you have been watching the Time Room Sports Show. When will our next episode be? I don't know. But till then, goodbye.